Hey, it's Doom here, and we're back with the Monster Manual in part 2 of the Bulette. Uh, so we have our Bulette. I did drop him, but that's okay. We'll cover that up in the paint job here. So, generally it looks like Bulettes are brown. So let's get a metal cup here. Get some brown paint. Get something we can get some good coverage on them with, right? All my brushes are pushed in out of their spots where I wanted them sitting. All the brushes I'll be using for this anyways, that I'm aware of. Okay. So we just want to get a little bit of moisture on that brush. Let's paint this guy. We want to get under the cracks as best we can. But we don't want to cover all that darkness in there. Give it a little bit of mystery, you know. So, I wasn't real happy with the face, and I contemplated cutting it up some after I was done off camera. But I didn't want you guys to come back for part 2 and see the Bulette look very, very different. So, we're going to keep it the way it is. It's okay if you get this on the base because the base is gonna have to be brown too. So, except for the rocks, but you can paint those gray or brown if you want. It's up to you. If you just want to make sure you're getting underneath everything, you're gonna get some on there using a big brush like this. That's just the way it is. Alright. Then you kind of want to get around and get up underneath stuff. Make sure everything's brown and good. Okay. If you have any really wet spots where you hit it too much, make sure you're plucking some of that off during this part here. And we're going to keep that same brown. We're going to get something a little lighter and add it to it. This is Territorial Beige. We're going to touch some of the spots along the base and make that a different brown. Okay. And we're going to get a piece of cardboard. We're going to wipe a lot of that off. We're just going to give some variation to them. Mostly focus on the undersides because there won't be a lot of dry brushing down there, you know. You want to make sure you're doing this when he's still a little bit wet, so it kind of blends together a little bit. We'll set that brush down. We'll hit him with the +2 hot air gun of burning. And we're going to come back with that brush, get some more of that brown, and we're going to make sure we're hitting the upper part a little thoroughly. Because we want to lighten this up a good bit. Try not to hit his legs and the parts that aren't the top plates if you can help it. I don't think that'll destroy the craft, but you will have to throw it away. There we go. Let's get him lightened up. On that top part. We'll hit a little bit of the front of his face too. Alright, let's get that +2 hot air gun burning again. He's looking a lot lighter already. Alright, we can get rid of this. Get some cardboard here. Alright, so I'm just getting a cheap makeup brush, and I'm going to get a medium kind of brown here. Khaki, if I can find it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix those up. So that's a little lighter than I wanted, so we're just going to get some more of that medium brown. This is a little bit reddish. We'll mix that in there, see how that looks. Still a little light. That's kind of what I wanted, something like that. Okay. It's kind of now I'm going to get another piece of cardboard. I'm going to lighten that up, take a lot of that off. And then I'm going to hit his legs, his underside a little bit with that. Just a little bit, just to give him some depth. Try getting some of those cracks, get some of that dirt. Make it look a little different. Alright, so then we're going to get what's left in our brush and leave it. We're going to get a little bit of this here. More than that, that's probably too much. Okay. Man, my head is still stuffed up. Okay. All right. Now, let's get something kind of like this. Let's dry him off. I'm taking him off camera for a minute to hit him with the gun. this. Kind of paint over him a little bit on this top part. Now, if you really want to do a better job than what I just did on that, if you're going to use a wash or a speed paint, my recommendation would be to dry him completely and hit him with a clear coat first. But we're in a hurry because we're trying to make this video in a format where people can watch it and not make it an all day long kind of deal, you know. So sometimes we take some shortcuts for the sake of getting it done. Come around and catch some of his mouth too. Just kind of hit that bottom up some. Alright. We gotta do something with his eyes. Right here. That's not good. So what we're going to do is just get a little bit of this brown and come back over that. And we're going to get a little bit of this and try to touch it. Try to blend that in a little bit. See where I pulled some of that paint off because we hadn't dried enough. Alright, so now for his eyes. In the artwork, it looks like his eyes are just little red dots. I think I want to make mine green just because it's mine and I can do what I want with it. So I'm going to find a really light green that's really bright. I'm just going to squirt a little dot of that there. I'm going to get a tiny brush. This isn't super tiny, but it's tiny-ish. Alright, that's not working. So I need to dry that off better. I'm going to get a white, an off-white, and just lighten those eyeballs up a little bit before I put that green. I'm going to get this green. I shook it up a little better. There we go. I'm just going to hit his eyes real quick. I'm going to get a darker green. hit that with the hot air. You're probably thinking, oh dude, this is going to look stupid. It might. Alright, now I'm going to get some black. I'm going to get a fractional brush. And I'm going to do their eyes, his eyes, kind of like a line down. Something like that. Now let's get this brown again. Actually, let's get the hot air on this guy first. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a little bit of this brown. And then I'm just going to add an eyelid across the top to fix the shape of that eye, how I like it. And I'll just come underneath and do a little touch up too. And that makes his eye a little more, you know what I mean? Alright, so what do we have left? We have rocks and maybe some flock if we want to do some flock. So for the rocks, apple barrel pavement, one of my favorite go-to colors. All right. Let's get a medium gray. A little piece of cardboard. Well, let's just try to touch over them for some variation. If you see any spots you really miss badly, you can kind of touch those spots too. Pick that up. Let's lighten this up a little bit. Just kind of touch all over them. New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Alright, we'll set that off to the side. Hit homeboy at the +2. Hot air gonna dry him, or burning. Get that same brush. Okay, let's get a makeup brush again. And I think that he's a little too dark on top now. So what I want to do is I want to find something that can bring him down just a little bit. I do have this coffee latte matte folk art paint that I use for almost nothing. So let's try it out. It looks a little light, but that's okay. So this stuff's not giving great coverage. So let's see if this beige will do it, do the job we want it to. So, oh, that's what I wanted. Okay. Just wanted to bring some of the highlight out, make them a little lighter on top. That's all I was trying to accomplish, and it works out good with this. All right, do we want some flock? Do we think it'll add much to this miniature? Well, let's start with going around the base and doing some black first, and then we can decide if we need to do any flock. All right. I don't know if we need any flock. I don't know if it would add much. Let's hit him with the hot air gun, and then we can throw a little flock on there if y'all want. So to do our flock, we're just going to get a little piece of cardboard, some clear Elmer's glue, there we go, cheapy brush, we're going to isolate some spots that we think it could add something to the model, if we do think at all. I'm not sure if this guy really needed it. But it's whatevs. Alright. Green flock. Alright. Getting a loose flock. So right here, you see there was a damp spot. And a little bit of that flock stuck right there. So you just kind of get a piece of masking tape and get in there and just tap it. And it should get it off. It might take a fleck or two of paint. I doubt it though. We can paint with that. I don't think so. Alright, so there's the Bulette, or Bulette, or land shark, whatever you call it. I'm going to let this dry. It takes a while to really dry out. And then I'm going to hit it with clear coat, and let's see what it looks like up on the table. I'm pretty happy with it, even though the face is a little wonky. I could have done a little better on the head, I think. But, you know what? It's from a flea market, Jurassic Park toy. So really, do I have too many complaints here? Nah. Took about an hour and something to make and paint. And it's bigger than my Bulettes I have. So it'll be a nice addition to the table one way or the other. So if you like what we're doing here, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Share it if you feel so compelled. If not, that's fine too. Check out the links in the description. There's one to our Discord where you can get a free mini. And also post anything you make or create from what you've been watching or just ideas you have. And then there's a link to the website. And there's also a discount code in the description where you can get 25% off your first monthly crate of miniatures from DungeonSwag.com. So I really do appreciate your time that you spend with me here today. I hope you learned something or had fun doing something. Got some ideas you can use on your own table. And we'll see you next time.